Welcome everyone to our Monday, March 1st, 2021 meeting of the Whitley County Board of Commissioners. We'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing we have on the agenda is our employee recognition. All of our employees, we try to recognize it with 20 years and above. The first one that we have is Heather Reed. Heather is in here right now. We want to thank Heather for her service as a nurse for the health department. She's done a great job, and she's got, we don't see what she does, but she's on the road a lot and does a good job for us. Next one is Janelle Smith, 21 years. So Janelle's in our dispatch, the head of dispatch. She does a great job for us, a lot of hours. Thank you, Janelle. Denise Spencer, 23 years. Denise is now in the treasurer's department. Thank you, Denise. Tony Helfrich, 25 years. Tony isn't here right now. Tony's one of our sheriff deputies and does a great job for us. 25 years, didn't realize he'd been here that long. So we want to thank all of those people for their service. Next on our agenda, we have Attorney Matt Shipman.
Good afternoon. The only thing that I have to report on that's not in packet that I reviewed that we'll do as it comes up is the purchase agreement for the property out in Armstrong Park is ready. And if I believe Don is going to execute that prior to our next meeting, and then we could put that on the agenda for the March 15th meeting. We should be, Marsh and I just finalizing a couple drainage things that I think are done. So we're
Good.
ready to move.
That's been a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, it has been, but it's the way it's now set up. I think it's the best way for the county, and Don's comfortable with it. So.
Good. We want to thank Don for that. He's done a lot for the county with this.
Sure.
That's it.
Other than the documents that, you guys are going to review, I've already looked at. So.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have a petition to appoint a member to the Blue Lake Conservancy District Board of Directors.
Yep.
Sure. Give us your name and address.
My name is Andrew Grossnickel. I'm the attorney I'm here on behalf of the Blue Lake Conservancy District. My address is 2173 North Point Drive in Warsaw. And we had filed a petition with the commissioners. We were originally supposed to be on the agenda a couple weeks ago. We had the big snow event. So I'm very appreciative that you were able to get us on for today, especially since we have our regular board meeting tonight, our monthly board meeting tonight over at Blue Lake. But the petition is requesting that the commissioners appoint actually 2 members to our board. Stephen Schrock, who's actually here in person today, and Don Grieve. Steve and Don are both currently board members. Steve has been on the board since you came on mid-year last year, right? And Don's been on, I believe, for about 3 years. Both are freeholders in the district and are ready, willing, and able to serve as members. Part of the reason why we're here is because typically elections are held at the district's annual meeting, which was this past Saturday, the 27th. However, we didn't get notice published in time inviting nominations. That's usually done in November, with nominations to be posted to our office by December 1st of the year preceding the annual meeting. And the statutes indicate that if that occurs and if we don't hold an election at the annual meeting, that we can petition the commissioners to appoint members to the board. So that's the reason why we filed a petition for consideration for you guys. And we're asking that the commissioners appoint Stephen Schrock and Don Grieve to the board of directors.
Okay. Commissioners?
I'll move that we reappoint Steve and Don that are currently board members to the Blue Lake Conservancy District Board of Directors.
Yeah, we got a motion,
I'll second.
got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
Andrew.
really appreciate your time.
Scott Wagner. Part-time to full-time position request. Scott is our Director of Health for Whitley County.
So we did meet with the personnel committee. They met and they gave a favorable pass to the council and commissioners regarding Jackie Wursler moving from part-time to full-time. As indicated in the personnel committee meeting, we'll still continue to use some of the grant money that pays her salary now to offset the cost of that onboarding. It's around $17,000 a year. So that should help in that decision there. We had hired Vicki Western and she found a full-time job. So we were going to ask for Jackie to be brought to full-time next year. Anyway, we were going to be on this year's budget. But with the COVID clinics here and a need that we have to have more hours, I thought we'd bring her on now and do it that way.
Okay.
So what is it that you need from
It's
us?
just a favorable pass or agreement for the council tomorrow, with the member of council, and asking that they approve that move.
I'm in support of this. I know you and I have had conversations in passing. I think it's a good move. So I would recommend that we do send a favorable pass to council. Just recommending that they approve it.
Okay, we've got a motion to make a favorable pass to council in the morning.
I'll second that.
We've got a second. Discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thanks, Scott.
Do you want me to give you an update?
Yeah, would you
Yes.
please, while you're here?
So as you can see, if you looked at the map lately, we're on to orange. I'll be highly surprised if we don't go down to yellow this week. Should be nice, following along with everybody else around us. We have had numbers in like anywhere from 6 to 10 people per day. So it is going down quite a bit, having less activity in the schools, virtually having no activity in our long-term care anymore. So that's really good. We're still the lowest in Northeast Indiana, almost the northern half of the state with regards to deaths for COVID. That's still really good news as well. We're continuing to see about 1,000 people a week through the clinic. We've been approached by the state for Johnson & Johnson vaccine. We're hoping that we can agree to use that for special locations throughout the county. So we're working on that today. I should know by the end of the week for that.
Good. Any questions for Scott?
If we move to yellow, that raises our ability for meetings. So you can have 100 persons per meeting event or a 50%. So
Do we have to hold yellow for 2 consecutive weeks as we did for the orange? Okay.
move down. So we'll see. If we don't, it'll be the next week, but it'll be. So.
Okay. That's kind of nice even seeing the blue right now in the state. Quite a few people.
Right, the governor signed an order on the 25th of February, mandating the masks still. So the mask will be here through March 31st.
Okay.
Unless he changes his mind.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Scott. One thing I missed here, the resolution for the Board of Commissioners of Whitley County, Indiana, expressing support for local control of land use decisions. And basically what this is I'll go through this. The state of Indiana consists of a diverse communities with each its own needs and opportunities. And whereas across the state of Indiana, counties have created and implemented plans for development that provide the type of new investment and additional employment that is desired by the citizens of the county. And in many instances, the desired development has included wind or solar projects. And whereas the Board of Commissioners believe the decisions regarding wind and solar development are best made by citizens living within the community rather than by the wind and solar industry or state officials who live outside the community. And whereas House Bill 1381 is currently pending in the Indiana General Assembly, and if enacted, such legislation would disenfranchise the citizens of the ability to determine the conditions under which wind energy or solar energy projects would be allowed in the county. And whereas under House Bill 1381, communities would be compelled to allow wind and solar projects under conditions dictated by others living outside the community. And whereas the Board of Commissioners desires to express its opposition to House Bill 1381 and express its support for the rights of individuals and families living within the community to direct their own future through land use decisions. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the Board of Commissioners of Whitley County, Indiana, that the board expresses its opposition to House Bill 1381 and any other legislation that disenfranchises local citizens of their right to make local planning decisions and direct the future of their own communities.
I've been following the Commissioners Legislation Board, and yeah, it's quite terrifying. Basically the state wants to come in and set all the regulations for solar and wind energy, and we would have absolutely no say in where they could be. And obviously our county, Whitley County, is different than Hamilton County or Johnson County. So that's definitely something that I think that we as a county need to keep control of rather than giving up that power to the state.
And we as commissioners have been in contact with our state representatives and our state senators to let them know what our thoughts are on this also.
That's right. I just want to confirm this is the resolution that was reviewed by Barnes and Thornburg, that it was sent from Indiana Association of County Commissioners.
Joan contacted me through email. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
Joan,
the one.
Joan, is this the same resolution that's been reviewed by Barnes and Thornburg? That being said, I recommend that we approve this resolution showing our disapproval of the House bill.
It's 2021-02.
And that resolution number would be 2021-02.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the resolution opposing the wind and solar energy projects, taking it away from the local control.
Second.
Got a second? Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Thanks for your work on that too, Joan. Okay, Nathan Bilger.
Good afternoon. I have 5 plats here, and I know it's a long agenda, so what I might suggest is maybe you review them and then approve them and then sign it after the meeting, just to keep things a little bit faster. Let's see here. I'll start with the oldest one first. This is a replat of Crooked Lake Estate, is what it could be called. And what is proposed is to take land that the Crooked Lake Development Association owned between these lots and the lake shore and incorporate it into the lots. There's also some additional land that was never platted that's also included in a few lots as well. This was approved by the Plan Commission after 2 meetings in the middle of last year. And the landowners, being that there's approximately 20 different lots involved, each one in individual ownership, it took a while for the developer to get all the different signatures together. So that would be the first one. If you have any questions for me on it.
I don't have any questions. I would move that we approve Crooked Lake Estates plat approval.
Got a motion to approve the Crooked Lake Estates plat approval?
Second.
Got a second? Discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, going on to the next oldest one is Huckleberry Lane. And this was also heard by the Plan Commission last year. It is a, refresh my memory, a 1-lot plat located along 800 South in Jefferson Township. It's 14.5 acres, largely bisected by a legal drain, which was a topic of discussion at the Plan Commission. They want to know which side of the legal drain that the house was going on. That was resolved. So not sure why it took a few months to get in. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe they had to get the septic done, which I believe is done now. So any questions for me on that one? And again, the name on this is Huckleberry Lane.
I'll move that we approve the plat approval.
We've got a motion to approve the Huckleberry Lane plat approval.
I'll second.
Got a second? Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Next one is Markel Acres. This is located along 800 East, just northeast of Lakewood Estates. This was the former location of the Locks Farm, if I remember right. And what is proposed here are 2 lots. We had a rezoning that went through for this, I believe, last month, and that was approved. And then this is the subsequent plat to plat 2 lots out of that property. Markel Acres again.
Yeah, I'd recommend that I make a motion that we approve Markel Acres plat approval.
Got a motion to approve Markel Acres plat approval.
Second.
We've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Next up is Peacock Ridge Section 2. This is located in Smith Township. Excuse me, is that Smith Township? No, Etna Troy Township. What this is Peacock Ridge Section 1, or the first lot of Peacock Ridge, was split off several years ago. This was a sale on contract from the owner to the owner of Peacock Ridge, lot number 1, in order to then split it when the contract was finished. They had to go through the platting process because he didn't want to combine the 2 pieces. It just had a mortgage or something separate on an existing piece. So in order to achieve what they needed to, they have this second section of that plat.
I'll move that we approve Peacock Ridge plat's request.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the Peacock Ridge plat approval. Discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
And then finally, and I will never say this name right, as much as I try. I believe it's Daggy. Daggy Acres is a 2-lot plat of a property in Jefferson Township. It's just actually down the way from Huckleberry Lane. What the property owner did there was they bought a piece of property that was up for auction last year, and they are splitting off 2 lots, which are in the plat, and then retaining a 3rd piece of property for construction of their own new home. So they're splitting off 2 lots for future sale and then keeping a piece also for themselves. So any questions on that one? It does include a large amount of right-of-way because of the 2 roads involved.
Okay.
I move that we approve Daggy Acres plat approval.
Yeah, we got a motion to approve the Daggy Acres plat approval.
Second.
Got a second. Discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for plats. One quick item of business that, unless you have any questions for me. The next round of public engagement, the second round of public engagement for the comprehensive plan update is scheduled for March 13th at the 4-H Center. This is where the public is asked to actually come in and provide reaction to what's being proposed as draft recommendations for the update. We will also have online engagement starting early next week and then also the week following that. So the in-person workshop will be in the weekend between the weeks that the online engagement is. Again, that's Saturday, March 13th from 11 to 3. We chose Saturday for 2 reasons. Last time we had it on a weekday and heard some complaints about holding it a weekday, but it also worked out better for scheduling for the 4-H Center. So looking forward to seeing all the input on that.
Do you have a time frame for this whole project?
Still slated, we're running a little bit behind of the original timeline, but still slated to have a final draft to the Planning Commission in May and then to the commissioners in June, assuming everything keeps going at normal at the expected clip. So we originally were planning on to the commissioners in May, so we're running about a month behind. Still pretty good though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon Forrester, highway update and right-of-way permit request. Brandon is our county engineer and highway director.
Yes, I first have a right-of-way cut permit application from NIPSCO. It's for work on 800 East, southern part, and it involves an open cut of the road. So per our ordinance, this would have to be approved by the commissioners, and I did defer that to the commissioners. And recommend approval for that. It's, there's a valve leak on a line off of their 22-inch high pressure gas line. So it's kind of important that they get that fixed. So we only have just one permit.
I'll move that we approve NIPSCO's permit request.
Got a motion to approve the NIPSCO cut request.
And I'll second.
Got a second. Discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Passes. Thank you.
Is this the copy you need signed?
Yes. Last time we met, I submitted and we all signed the Highway Department's annual operating report that was submitted and approved by LTAP. Since then, also, we were awarded $2,203,804 for a federal aid project to bring any deficiencies in our ADA requirements for right of way. So that is about a 6-year process, 5 years. And our next step is to have early coordination meeting, and we're working on setting that up right now with NDOT to go through the various next steps. But so that's a good thing for Whitley County. Subdivisions of Donatello's Village, Balsano, Lincoln Point will be receiving all new sidewalks and curb ramps, that everything would be ADA compliant, which currently they are not.
So we thought that would be a 10 to 15-year project.
It'll still take a while. There'll be many hoops to jump through and hurdles to jump over, but we did get the award, so. I have also prepared an RFP for bridge inspection for, the county has 87 bridges, and every 4 years we go through this process. I've got it set. I will send that off to NDOT today for posting a week from today. And interested consultants would have about a month to submit a letter of interest for that project. Working with a surveyor to do some surveying work on 800 East for one of our next ideas for a community crossings project. I will get our attorney draft ordinance. It's actually a template that was sent to us by DLGF for next meeting to reestablish our Cume Bridge rate. But I did mean to get that to Matt. I will today or tomorrow morning.
Okay.
One thing that's kind of exciting here in Whitley County, a bridge that we're working on replacing right now with RL McCoy. And we're utilizing a brand new, never been, well, it's not that it's never been used. It's never been used in a full-blown bridge deck, mixed design for concrete. And we've got some people at other levels that are looking at this. And so they've had really very good results with test beams and compressive and flexural strengths on this mix. And there's a green element to this. It requires less cement in this mix and utilizes a byproduct of other processes. So we're excited about that and kind of being on the leading edge of that ahead of the state. And I know that one of the guys that's working on this is actually working with Federal Highway, seeing if there's interest at that level even. So that's exciting. We're ahead of the game on that. As far as engineering, we, just so you know, we did certify all of our drainage assessments for collection. That's the drainage board thing, but let you know that we had some database programming challenges with that, but we got it working, and they've all been sent to the auditor's office. So I would guess tax bills will go out on time. And finally, for me, been working, we had a pre-con for an NDOT job, and it's a state highway, State Road 9, and our involvement is unofficial detours. Obviously the official detour is to use state routes, but we know that locals will use a different route. And so we had a pre-construction virtual meeting last week, and I expressed some concerns with getting some signage added and So there's actually two small structures they're replacing. One is between Cider Mill and 150 East. And so that would be the unofficial detour. It's by far the shortest, most direct route for that, but State Road 9 will be closed at some point in time in the relatively near future. And then the next project is just south of 250 North, which is to the west, locally called Roller Coaster Road. And I haven't mentioned this to any of you, but the detour, they're going to put staggered barricades outside of that at 300 North and down at Airport to try and direct traffic up Airport to 300. And we, as in the county highway, will be putting staggered barricades on both ends of Roller Coaster Road because we don't want traffic on Roller Coaster Road, people that don't live there. And we especially don't want people from out of town going over the crests of those hills at 50 miles an hour. So that's kind of a heads up to the public and to you, if you hear anything about that.
Will those projects be simultaneous? Okay.
One at a time.
Okay.
And I had the fortune of being first on their list, and so I didn't stay for the whole meeting. They were going to present the schedule. Earliest day to start is March 15th, so it is coming up. And I believe they said they were going to start with the north structure, which would be the one by Roller Coaster Road, or just south of 250 North. So I believe that's all I have for now, unless you have questions.
Commissioners?
No, thanks for all you do.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have the Parkview non-DOT Consortium Agreement Amendment and 2021 drug screening pricing notification. Jennifer, did you want to explain a little bit about that? Jennifer Shennebree, she's our HR director.
So this is just an agreement with Parkview for our drug screening. We do quarterly random drug testing, and then we also do pre-hire drug testing. So it's just a amendment to that agreement with updated pricing for that.
Okay.
So there have been changes in the pricing.
They've increased the price. It was $32 per test, and now it's $34. And it typically does increase.
Annually?
Well, I can't really say because I haven't been in the position long enough, but I know that when I started, it was 30 and then it jumped to 32 and now it's at 34.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how often it increases, but I can find out for you though.
Okay, that'd be fine. I mean, I think we have to have an agreement, right? I mean, especially for post-accident, pre-employment, those things are critical. So I move that we approve the contract and move forward with Parkview for our drug screening.
Got a motion?
And I'll second that. But yeah, if you could look in to see if they're gonna increase it every single year.
Okay, we've got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Jennifer. Next on the agenda, we have the readoption of the 2021 Title VI Plan Adoption. And I think you have that in your packet. And Cammie, do we have to, is there any signatures needed on this? Okay, we just have to readopt it. Okay.
I'll move that we readopt the 2021 Title VI Plan.
Got a motion to approve the readoption of the 2021 Title VI Plan. That's our ADA plan is what that is.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a second for discussion.
Yeah, have there been any changes? Do we know that's still the same? It's just a, okay.
Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Okay, Carly LaRue. Is Carly here? This is for the Clear Team.
So a while ago, I sent you guys an email talking about the Clear Team with this packet here, a little bit about what it is. And I know that Chad, that you were in that meeting, so you kind of know the gist of it. But for everybody here, the Clear Team is a group of mental health providers, first responders that have started getting together to provide free services to first responders in Willie County. CLEAR stands for Certified Leaders for Emotional Assistance and Recovery. So I'm just here on behalf of the CLEAR team to request a letter of support from the commissioners and to answer any questions that you guys may have. But CLEAR team's free service, I guess.
So what exactly would the letter of support be supporting?
Their efforts to provide these services in the community, kind of used as a backing if we were to request grants. To provide stipends for them, to provide like food, if we were to bring them in for critical incident stress management to try and get people to these mental health services. Same thing for getting people like certified too on the team.
As Carly mentioned, I did attend the informal meeting, informational meeting
Right.
rather, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really great thing. Anything we can do to support the mental health of first responders is critical. So personally, I do support the CLEAR team and their efforts. So I guess that being said, I would support or make a motion that we would send a letter of support to the CLEAR team. But I would want to be clear too, that doesn't include financial support, just it would just be a nod of approval.
Right.
Does this enable you to ask for grants? Is that part of this?
Usually when you request grants, there's people of supporting agencies that you can attach that document on there. So, I mean, you can request it from like the Columbia City Fire Department, but it's usually a bigger thing if you have the whole government entity, someone that's bigger than one department supporting it. So I think that'd make more of an impact when requesting grants.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve a letter of approval for the CLEAR team.
Second.
Got a second? Discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thanks, Carly.
Okay. We had one for. Okay, we've got one from Lori Shipman. There's a resolution authorizing application submission and local match commitment for COVID-19 relief funds. I think we've all seen that. Any questions on that? Any concerns? I could read that if you think.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution for Lori Shipman to turn it into the Office of Community and Rural Affairs with no local funds committed at all to this project.
You've got a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a second for discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. And that's also for the commissioner to sign for the commissioners. Okay, next we have is payroll and accounts payable claims approval. I would like to say that I did look at claims this morning and everything looked real good. Tiffany does a great job. I really do appreciate the ease that it is to go through. The only question I had, there was an issue. I had a question on payments to the city from for tickets, but I think that's been taken care of. I talked to the sheriff about that. So otherwise, it looked really clean. I, again, appreciate it, Tiffany. A motion to approve the payroll.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the payroll claims. Do we have a motion for accounts payable? Oh, we'll have a vote on that. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Accounts payable claims approval.
I'll move that we approve accounts payable claims.
Got a motion to approve the accounts payable claims.
I'll second.
Got a second. Discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
And there is two separate ones to sign because I split them up, like what would have been your 16th meeting and then obviously this meeting. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we've all had a chance to take a look at the previous month's or meetings minutes for February 1st, 2021. Any amendments, any questions?
I'll move that we approve the minutes.
Got a motion to approve?
Second.
Got a second? Discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Okay, Matt, did you have anything further?
This was in my figure, but this get done.
I think, yeah. Did you want me to go ahead and say something about that agreement?
Schneider.
It's up to you. You can if you want. I think you understand it a little bit better than I do.
Okay, that's fine. So there was an agreement for Schneider for our Beacon website. We didn't know it before we did the conversion, but in order for everything to show up on Beacon with our new tax software, when we converted, we needed a new services agreement with them. So, and actually nothing was showing up on Beacon, right? So we kind of needed to get it a little bit ahead of time. But if you could formally approve that for us, so we could get that taken care of, that would be great.
So, yes, I did come in on the 19th to approve that because that was something that could not wait. Constituents were getting on to the beacon to look at their property for different things like assessed value, taxes, and it wasn't updating. And so I'm assuming Jana got tons of calls. So I made a trip in to get that done so we could get that updated for the county.
We need to make a motion for approval. Okay.
I would, yeah, can't hurt.
Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll move that we approve the professional services agreement with Schneider.
Okay, we've got a motion.
I'll second for discussion.
Motion for second for discussion.
So the question I have is, what exactly is this? Is it a service agreement? Or is it a one-time payment for something that they came in and set up? Or,
I think it's like a one-time setup cost for them to connect to Lau's server, or I don't know the IT.
That's what it says, a one-time.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was,
I guess I was getting hung up on calling it a service agreement.
with
instead
being a
of it-
one-time.
Instead of just being a one-time invoice for something that they did.
I think it's the connection cost in order for them to provide us the services from here on out with our new tax software.
So included in this, if there are any future issues with it communicating with Lao, with Beacon and Lao communicating,
It should be taken
this
care of.
this should cover that.
Yes. Yep. They will work together and get those. Yeah, there should not be any more costs associated with it.
Okay.
That's the same way I read it, was that it's just a one-time, the only actual service that's being provided is that one-time cost, so.
Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Anything further, Matt?
Nope.
Jana?
The only thing that I wanted to update you all on is it's pretty exciting. We already have our abstract for taxes approved. Well, it's been submitted. Hopefully have approval midweek. That's usually not due until March 15th. So we're ahead of the game on getting tax bills sent out.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay,
I have nothing.
Commissioner?
I just have one thing. Our town marshal in Cherubusco was nominated for a 40 under 40 award. And basically what that is, if you're under 40 years old and you've had a very large impact on your community, you can get nominated, and he did get the award. I know that he's done a really good job leading over there. He's had turnover, lots of COVID. He's worked second, third shift. He's worked doubles. So, and he could not be here today because he's down in Indianapolis for training, but yep, in a couple weeks, he will go attend the ceremony. I'm not sure exactly where it is, and he will formally be given that award, but I think that's awesome. And I think that Whitley County is better off with his leadership, and I'm thankful for him.
What's his name?
Dustin Pappenbrock. Guess I should have led with that.
Yeah. Oh, we want to thank him and congratulate him for that. It's a great honor. It really is.
Mhm.
I don't have anything else if you don't.
Oh.
Public, anybody in the public? Joanne, I'd like to repeat again that your work with that House Bill 1381, yours and Larry's, we really appreciate what you're doing there. Bill?
Morning. Good afternoon. I have the lease agreement. Interview center, is that something?
We probably should look at that, have Matt look at that also before we do anything on that. So if you just present it. Yeah. Thanks, Bill. Anything else? Well, I want to thank everyone for attending our meeting, and we'll adjourn. Thank you.